sports. And all eyes are on the reigning MVP, Aaron Rodgers. He's coming off a big week throwing the ball, nearly hitting 400 yards. It's the Packers and the Pats, and it's all up next.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today, it's week 4. We've got what should be a great one here between the New England Patriots and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Patriots, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Fielded right around the 8. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. Well, we get a first look at this Patriots offense, and of course leading them for his second season. Last year's Rookie of the Year runner-up out of Alabama, Mac Jones.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down. And here are the key inactives for them in this one. And obviously, Charles, are going to be without some important names this week.
The hope for those guys will be on the sidelines, encouraging the guys who are going out there and helping them when they come off the sidelines during the game by giving them some tips on what they see and what they've experienced. That's true teamwork. And if you want to get to the playoffs, if you want to have a big push, you have to have that on your squad.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out. How vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. This defense for the Packers, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
On second down, this is Harris. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Jones. And this one is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Leading the Packers offense out here, the same man who has been doing so since 2008. That's the great Aaron Rodgers.
Even as he nears age 40, Aaron Rodgers' game isn't taking a single backward step. He became only the 4th player to win back-to-back MVP awards and led Green Bay to its 3rd straight 13-win season. He avoids turnovers better than anyone in football at the quarterback position, and Green Bay, they are always a front runner with him under center.
Hey, you block over here.
They'll begin the drive with a run by Dillon. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Throwing is Rodgers. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. With a quick slant, good for 8 and a first. The Packers at 3-0 here in the month of September. And they've got to be pleased with the start of this season, obviously.
Yeah, and you're talking about 3 good quality wins. It's got people in the locker room excited, not overly so, but that quiet confidence is starting to build. They're starting to believe that this could be their year if they stay on track.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And one more time, that's Watkins. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Yeah,
moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. The numbers last week for Tunyon, 6 catches, 93 yards.
And that was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy the defenses had better focus on.
Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. We're scoreless after 1. Back for the 2nd quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. Now swing pass for Dillon. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a... And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And a look at the next-gen stats reveals that sack occurred in all of 2.3 seconds. And you think you want to be an NFL quarterback?
Still searching for that first breakthrough, and I thought this might be it. But it's not to be, and we're still scoreless.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
We don't often see trades between division contenders, but that's exactly what we got when Devontae Parker was traded from Miami to New England. Injuries never let him become the guy Miami envisioned when they selected him 14th overall in 2015. But in his lone season healthy, he went over 1,200 yards and had 9 touchdowns. That's the player the Patriots are seeking to get in this deal.
Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop. Second down and 8. Throwing Jones. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. Last time out they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. To throw is Rodgers. Open man, Amari Rodgers, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. On first down, Rodgers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like a Packer. Yeah, a Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession. The fumble on first down. Now here's 2nd down. Now Rodgers. They'll set up a screen for Dillon. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back. But now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, whether they have a much better chance of picking up.
An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. Throwing now is Rodgers. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. He's got a man, complete. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they'll begin inside their own 10, so field position certainly not in their favor here. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So plenty of action on the field, but no action right now on the scoreboard, at least as of yet. 0-0 is our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit, but first let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We begin across the Atlantic in London, Minnesota, and New Orleans in the first of 5 games in this year's NFL International Series, where it was the Vikings acting as the visiting team who were able to come out on top. Dalvin Cook, a touchdown run in the victory. Next, we'll head over to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Chicago Bears. Saquon Barkley, 2 touchdown runs to lead the way. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Seattle Seahawks. DeAndre Swift, a touchdown run in the victory. Time now for a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for New England. And they didn't get a whole lot done in the rushing department in those first 2 quarters. They probably feel pretty lucky to be tied here at halftime. Meanwhile, for the Packers, here's a look at their numbers throwing the football in what was a very even first half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. After a rare scoreless first half, these teams now just looking for something as the second half gets underway. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. Well, the Packers ready to go to start quarter number 3. And we thought this game had the potential to be tight, maybe not this tight, scoreless as we start the third quarter.
And I love the way you use the word tight. I'm going to take it a little bit different direction here because it's not just tight on the scoreboard. I think both offenses have been tight in how they've played this game. No one's been loose. No one's been free. They've got to find a way to make some plays, and I don't think you do it if you're really tight in everything that you're doing in the game.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. He dumps this off to Dillon underneath. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Patriots take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Jones and the Pats now with a 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll start on the ground with Harris, and he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Operating from the gun, Jones. Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. 32 yards.
He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield. Instead, checked it down. An old coach of mine used to say to us all the time, when they check it down, that should end the down. In this case, though, he foiled that in a big way and turned it into a big play.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A give for Stevenson, running right. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Setting up the screen, Harris. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They'll try the right side with Harris. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Now a timeout called for by the defense. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the defense. So, boy, that's already the 3rd they burn here. They are out of timeouts now before we've even hit the 4th quarter. They'll try to run with Harris. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. So with a 4th and goal looming, we hit the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Just sit down and do what you do.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Folk's kick is good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. I tell you what, it's kind of hard to imagine. They have not scored a single point, and yet they're in this position, a touchdown drive here, and they're in the lead.
Normally, when you have 0 on your side of the ledger on the scoreboard, you're a little bit discouraged. But when they look over and see their opponents, they don't see a number that's way out there. They don't see a number they can't attain. In fact, they can get it right here on this drive and potentially take the lead.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. They go screen with Dillon. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now it's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a first down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. And again, it's Rodgers. Got a man able to find Rodgers. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 25-yard line. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Dillon now on 1st and 10. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. Rodgers in control as he hurries his guys to the line. Back to throw. And his throw is incomplete. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
Rodgers to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this from 39. And that is no good. Wide to the right. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3. A fourth quarter miss like that, there is no lonelier feeling than that kicker right now.
As we all know, a lot of these games, they come down to special teams. And when that chance comes, you have to perform in order to help your team get over the top.
Could have tied it. Instead, they remain down 3. Down to a knee goes Jones, and that should just about seal it. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
Well, you know what they say, it's always fun to work on things if it didn't go well in your game with a victory in your pocket, and that's what they've got going forward.
So for the Pats, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants.